Well, good evening or good morning. We're going to present our communication Guess the Score, which is a tool and a strategy for fostering collective intelligence in the class or collective intelligence education. So, exactly what we are going to present here is an experimental application intended to facilitate the collective revision and assessment of the works for projects done by students and presented usually during the classes. This tool, this strategy that we're going to present is part of more wider research about collective intelligence education. And we have to thank our engineering and design students from Barcelona for their support using these tools. What we are presenting here is the third prototype, and obviously the first and the second one that helped to us a lot to create this last version was much more difficult to use and to perform. So, besides the central interest of our tool, Guess Score, which is to support collective intelligence education, as we said, and from the instructional side, Guess Score is also, or has to be understood also as a tool to support learning strategies based in learning by doing. Particularly, Guess Score is a tool that allows to convert into active knowledge value created by a student during the development of their projects and presented in the class. What do we mean exactly by active knowledge? Well, examples of application of the content being studied during the course. Well, how does it work exactly, this tool? Well, it's very easy. It's very easy. It's really easy. During the presentation of the projects, of the work that the students do with the project in a projects-based learning approach, there is dissertation and discussion during the class. No? So the group of students present the work done in their project, and it is supposed that the other students attend during the discussion of each project, of their peers, the other students. But what happens often is that the students are more aware of their own project, which they are going to present at some moment in the class, than to the projects of their peers. This is what really happened. We have checked this with a lot of professors, and everybody agree that this is what happens. So, and here is what Guess Score application do and how it enters to the class. The idea is that after the quantitative discussion of the project, with the dissertation and the presentation, then the professor gives, with our tool, a private rank to the project. So the students have a time and to do exactly the same, which is to propose a score for the project that has been presented, and the idea is to try to guess the score that the professor is going to put, the professor or the expert. Each student may compare his or her score with the one proposed by the professor and follow her particular solution during the course. This is what Guess Score really do. Just a few screens to show how the application works. This is each student enters with login with name and password, and then they have to select one of the projects. And these screens. This screen is just in the moment of the class that we were quoting the third example. And this is the screen of the expert or the professor. The screen of the student is very similar. The professor has to put a score for the items that are evaluated for this class. No, let's imagine that they are presenting a project which is a heater, and then I have to score the design, the marketing, the logistics, and the sales of this particular presentation of the project. No? Well, once we have voted and we are closing the participation of all the students, then we are able to compare my score as an expert or as a professor with the average of the group, see the difference, the number of people that has already voted, and the minimum, the maximum. So the student, in the student screen, it appears something very similar. The score of the student compared with the score of the expert, the difference of the group, and also the number of people that is participating, minimum and maximum. So with this information, the system gives some analytics to the student that allows the student to see how evolves its rank or its score during the different practices during the course. Here we see the 6 practices and how, in this particular case of an hypothetical student, the difference between the rank or the score of the student and the one of the expert, of the professor, has decreased by half point, more or less. And they are able to compare the difference with the expert, the difference with the group, and the difference with the whole class. So, and obviously the same, not just for the student, but for the group that is presenting the project. Obviously, we want that the presentation of the project, the way the people express or presents the content, improves gradually from practice to practice. So, which are the characteristics of this kind of tool, and obviously the strategy that this kind of tool allows? Well, first of all, as we said at the beginning, this idea that the work done by students in their respective projects is converted into in case examples of the content. So this is the idea, what we said at the beginning, that we convert into active knowledge, the work produced by students. So we value the work that the students do. Second characteristic is that there is a systematic real-time assessment of the content. We get approximately about between 20 and 30 scores in each class for each student. There is an online serious game that uses the competition motivation strategies. So these may help, this is the last characteristics, to engage and promote the participation during the class of all the students. These are the main characteristics of the project. And what about the research we do with this tool and with this strategy? Well, we get what we call big data of the class, because we capture a lot of information of how the students work during the class, if they understand or not the content, because they have to decide about assessment of the work presented by the students. We have many different cases. The cases have been done by the students. For that reason, we said active knowledge produced by the students. And so we can use rankings, we can use competition, we can use many things. And then what we do is to analyze in some way and to follow and try to understand the behavior of the students and the change of the behavior during the class. So the same with, for instance, the deviation between teacher and students, between teacher and groups, etc. We have a lot of data to compare and to analyze and to work with. Well, and finally, as a conclusion, let's say that first of all, we decided that it's worth sharing some ideas while exploring how to promote collective intelligence education. We are in the middle of the process of research, but we think that it's interesting to share what we have already done. Even taking into account that just the beginning of a process of research, but we already have some evidence about the students' attention and engagement during the class. This is a point. This is a form in some way of collective intelligence, and say in the sense of collective attention to what is happening in the class, no? And what we say is that we are in the first step in the use of big data as an assessment strategy. Hope you enjoy the presentation and the tool and the ideas, and we are obviously happy if you have any questions or any idea or any suggestion, and thank you very much. See you soon.